Hello, I'm John with Code VA, and this is a video series about making music with data using Sonic Pi. We're going to get some data. We got numbers based on observations of the real world. That's what data is. We're going to make music with it using a tool called Sonic Pi, which turns code into instructions for the computer to follow to make sounds, to make music. There's a couple of different things going on here. We got some data science happening. We got some music making, and maybe a little bit unfamiliar if you aren't already part of like the coding and music community. There are a ton of tools out there for making music with code. We've got these three options: Ear Sketch, Tidal, Cycles, and Sonic Pi. Totally different tools, but you can check out all three. They're really interesting, very fun. Today we're using Sonic Pi because I feel like it's pretty beginner friendly. It's fun to get started with, but also it has a pretty high ceiling, meaning you can do all sorts of really interesting things once you get pretty good at using it. It also has built-in tutorials, which is always a plus. Sonic Pi is specifically designed for programmers to be able to perform music live. They do this thing called live coding, where they will project their code up on a screen and create music people would dance to or party to. It's kind of like a combination between being a programmer and being a DJ. Very cool stuff. And today we're going to be focusing on creating code that takes data and then turns that into music. So not only are we trying to make interesting music, we're also trying to help understand our data through that music. These are the tools and technologies I'm using today. I've got a computer. That's a definitely prerequisite. Any Mac or PC is fine because those are the kinds of computers you can install Sonic Pi on. Sonic Pi is free software. You can download it at this link here, sonicpi.net. If you go to a search engine and you just type in Sonic Pi, it's the first thing that comes up. So you can click that link and then scroll down and you can find your operating system there. I'm also going to be interacting with comma-separated values files, or CSV files. These are the files that my data is stored in, and I'm going to connect them up to Sonic Pi so that Sonic Pi can read the data and then make music based on those numbers. If you don't have your own data and you'd like to follow along, you can go to Kaggle, which is a kind of like data and analysis learning and community site. It's easiest to just show you. So if you go up to data sets here, you can filter out by CSV. And you can just, browse through and see they got a bunch of different cool things to check out. And all of these data sets, as long as they're a CSV file, you're going to be able to do the same kinds of things with them as I'm doing with Sonic Pi. Here's the data I'm going to be using. I collected this data myself, so this isn't from Kaggle or anything. This is just from my life. This is temperature, wind speed, other kinds of weather data from the town I live in. Collected once every hour for a day. So this is just a starting point. There's a bunch of different data points in here, 24 different collections of these numbers here from my town. And I also have some data from a bike ride that I took on that same day. So I have weather data from a day in the past and data from the bike ride that I took on that day. Altitude at collected every 2 seconds, latitude and longitude collected every 2 seconds. Very fun. I'm excited to kind of see make music based on these two data sets together, because I remember the bike ride and I also remember how hard it was at certain points, and I remember the weather and all the sorts of stuff. So it's going to be cool to see that together in the music. This is the plan I'm going to follow in the videos that will follow this introductory video. I'm going to focus on a couple of different techniques for creating music based on the data, so that you have a chance to try it out on your own and make your kind of complete music pieces based on whatever data you end up going in. It's going to be 4 different little videos. One's just going to be the basics of using Sonic Pi, not worrying about data yet. And then we'll talk about loading data into Sonic Pi and sort of testing it out and make sure it's working. And then 2 different musical techniques, creating melodies and bass lines and stuff, sequencing pitches with data, and sequencing rhythms with data. So both of those things are going to be important if you're interested in making music based on a data set. If you want to do this yourself, it's pretty easy to get set up. First, go download and install Sonic Pi. It's free, it's safe to install on your computer, it's very fun. Go ahead and do that. Then go find some data. Either you can get your own from Kaggle, something that someone else has collected, or you can collect your own like I did. Then you can follow along with the videos, and honestly, probably even more importantly than following along, trying things out on your own, experiment on your own with all this stuff. So that is the basics of this video series. If you have any questions or any ideas, or if this excites you in any way, please reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Otherwise, good luck and happy coding.